Hello everyone, welcome to EPG Patsala program. Myself Dr. Shubhabrato Datta. I am Professor and Head, Department of Social Work, Assam Central University in Silchar. Now in this module we will discuss rural development programs, that is state level programs under the course of rural development. For the rural development, the number of programs, schemes as well as the act has been introduced, framed and implemented by the Government of India. In this direction, in another module, we have discussed the national level programs. In this module, specific focus is given on the state level programs. As India is very much diversified, accordingly, every state have certain specific requirements, needs as well as dimensions. And rural areas are also somehow little bit varies from state to state as per the requirement is concerned. If we take the example, a rural village of Kerala, a rural village of Kashmir and a rural village of the northeast India have certain differences. Keeping these differences in mind, these characteristics in mind, every states frame a set of programs for their own states. That is also a part of the rural development program. Sometimes national schemes or programs cover certain areas, for example, housing, certain example, education, or certain pensions or the other areas. But state level programs also cover these areas. Now question may be raised, when there is a national level program, why state has framed another program for the housing? Maybe the problem of the housing is more acute in that state. So national level program is covering, still state level require further intervention to cover the wide range of beneficiaries. So these are the certain requirements are there, and accordingly in the area of health, education, housing, employment generation, special social securities, women empowerment, children education, state-wise different programs have been framed. And if we just see that why these programs have been framed, it is on the basis of the principle of self-reliant, self-competence, resourcefulness and problem-solving capacity are needs to be paramount for the rural development. In India, numerous policies and programs have been initiated by different state governments with manifold methodologies in the field of rural development for ensuring social competencies. Now different programs, state-wise, some of them are going to be discussed by me now. First is the Chief Minister Samagro Gramin Unnayan Yojana, that is in Assam. Government of Assam has launched a new scheme, that is Chief Minister Samagro Gramin Unnayan Yojana on 5th February 2017 with the objective for the development of the villages in the state. The scheme will be implemented in a mega mission mode in all villages of Assam in the next 5 years, culminating in 2021-22. The Chief Minister Samagro Gramin Unnayan Yojana will be implemented through saturation model by covering each revenue village through focused intervention in direct economic activities, logistics support including market linkages and community support. That means with this scheme, Government of Assam has targeted all villages to be covered and provide support for the economic activities with the linking of the different markets and communities. Another program is Atal Amrit Abhiyan for health insurance scheme in Assam. The state government of Assam has launched a new health insurance scheme named Atal Amrit Abhiyan on 25th December 2016. Under this scheme, every member of the household will be insured for a sum of rupees 2 lakh per year. That means if any member is fallen sick under the different categories of sickness, including cancer, for which they will get a support of rupees 2 lakh per year. Under the scheme, the government would provide unique identification number and health card to each beneficiaries. Smart card will be provided under this scheme, and this card will be availed by paying rupees 100 to avail the benefit. However, the scheme will be free for BPL families. There is the question is that for the BPL families, even this 100 rupees is free. Another program from another state, Bijju Pakka Ghar Yojana in Odisha. The government of Odisha has launched Bijju Pakka Ghar Yojana as a rural housing scheme to provide Pakka houses in rural areas. Earlier I stated that certain schemes are actually additional to the existing national scheme. So here it is also as an additional scheme for the in support with the national scheme. The basic approach behind this scheme is that housing is a fundamental human need and is a basic requirement for human survival as well as for a decent life. The objective of the scheme is to convert all kacha houses to pakka houses in rural areas of the state in a fixed time frame in a mission mode approach. That means for a particular period of time with a deadlines, even all the kacha houses to be converted into the pakka houses condition. In addition to that, the government of Odisha has launched a toll-free helpline number for the beneficiaries of Bijju Pakka Ghar Yojana, that is 1800-345-6768. This was launched to redress the grievances of beneficiaries towards the officials. Even in the beneficiarial part, to avoid certain discomfort, some helpline number has given to call and to put their grievances. Another scheme of the Odisha government is Kalingo Shiksha Sathi Yojana in Odisha. Odisha government has launched Kalingo Shiksha Sathi Yojana as an educational scheme. Under this scheme, educational loan is provided to the poor meritorious student for pursuing further education at a very low rate of interest. The loan is provided to those candidates whose household annual income is less than 6 lakh. The state government has allotted 500 crores to implement the scheme. Actually, in Odisha, the number of meritorious students who are basically from poor family background could not able to go for the higher education because of lack of fund. So government, taking into consideration for providing them loan, this scheme was launched and certain amount has also arranged like 500 crores for this scheme. Another program, Sardar Patel Awaj Yojana in Gujarat, that is also a housing scheme for the Gujarat state. Department of Panchayati Raj and Rural Development under the Gujarat government has launched Sardar Patel Awaj Yojana in order to provide housing benefit to the agricultural laborers and rural artisan below poverty line in rural areas of the state. Under this scheme, a provision for the construction of houses on such allotted land has come into force since 1976. Already from 1976 it was in there. However, in addition, as per the new guidelines, under the scheme, beneficiaries are not allowed to construct their own houses, rather government would construct houses for the beneficiaries since 2000. Certain changes from the earlier scheme, in the 2000 it has introduced that government will construct and you will get support of that. Panchavati Yojana in Gujarat. Panchavati Yojana was launched by the Panchayat Housing and Rural Development Department in Gujarat government in the year 2017 with an aim to develop and re-establish the underdeveloped areas of the villages with the help of community to plant more number of trees as a part of common heritage in the residential areas of the villages. It is basically a tea plantation program into the village communities and with a common motive, that is kind of heritage issues. The trees can be planted in the school of the village or in open plot having an area of more than 2000 square meters. 2000 square meter to be identified, maybe it is in school, maybe it is an open area, and the trees will be planted. Under the scheme, every village can contribute a public fund of rupees 50,000, and who has open land can avail the benefit of the scheme. Even the villages will get the 50,000 for the scheme, and even if somehow the open land is there, and with the help of the panchayat, that land can be converted into the forestry by this tree plantation with the support of this fund. Another program, Tirthogram Yojana, that is also in Gujarat. The Panchayat Housing and Rural Development Department of Gujarat government has launched Tirthogram Yojana in 2004 with an aim to strengthen the brotherhood and goodwill amongst the people living in rural areas of the state to promote unity and bring holistic development in the villages. Under the scheme, there are some criteria for the selection of villages. Some of those important criteria are villages with no crime for preceding 5 years get selected. There should be no controversy regarding the religious site of the village. Communal harmony should be the high in the villages to get selected. There should be proper level of sanitation and hygiene maintained in the villages. That means if certain villages wants to be come under the scheme, these are the criteria to be maintained. Another program is Rural Building Maintenance and Renovation Scheme in Tamil Nadu. Under the Rural Development and Panchayat Raj Department, Tamil Nadu government has launched Rural Building Maintenance and Renovation Scheme with an aim to preserve and maintain rural local resources, which include Anganwadi centers, Panchayat office buildings, overhead tanks, integrated sanitary complexes for women, etc. During the year 2011-12, renovation of 12,796 integrated sanitary complexes for women was carried out under the scheme with an allocation of rupees 170 crore. Actually, with this scheme, Tamil Nadu government have built many of its resources and specifically the official buildings. So this is also the buildings through which different programs are being run by the Tamil Nadu government. Another program, self-sufficiency scheme in the Tamil Nadu state. Tamil Nadu government has launched self-sufficiency scheme under the Department of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj in the year 2011 with an aim to bring community participation into government programs. Already in the different modules we have discussed, the participation to be ensured. For bringing up the participation, Tamil Nadu government has brought this scheme. Under the scheme, Commissioner of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj receives the major contribution from public and private companies for specific projects to be implemented across the state. And this program, that's why I stated this program, this program is a joint contribution from the private companies also. Annapurna Bhandar Yojana in Rajasthan. Rajasthan government has launched Annapurna Bhandar Yojana in collaboration with the Rajasthan State Food and Civil Supplies Corporation. It is a public-private partnership scheme for providing multi-brand products of daily consumption at fair price shops. It is under the PDS system. Under this scheme, Annapurna Bhandar stores acts as malls for the villages of Rajasthan. It is a public-private partnership scheme for providing high-quality branded of daily consumption at a fair price shop. Specifically, food grains to be provided through the fair price shops at the village levels, and it is a public-private partnership program. From another state, Udayami Shakhi Mandal Yojana in Jharkhand. Jharkhand government announced launch a new scheme, namely Udayami Shakshi Mandal Yojana on 2017 for rural women in the state. The main aim of this scheme is to empower rural women by providing them financial support to start their own small business. To encouraging the women into the entrepreneurial programs as a small business, this scheme introduced. Under this scheme, a group of 15 women can start up their own business, which in turn would increase their annual income and make them economically self-reliant. That means even as a group, 15 members as a group can start this business with this support. Another one, Rajya Samajik Suraksha Pension Yojana in another state, that is in Bihar. The state government of Bihar has launched Rajya Samajik Suraksha Pension Yojana for old people belonging to the age group of 60 to 65 years, widows, disabled and helpless people. The benefit of the scheme would be provided to those who fall under the below poverty line. That means people old, widows, disabled or helpless under the BPL category will be eligible to get benefit from this scheme. Under the scheme, widows, disabled, helpless and bonded labor aged over 60 years and whose annual income from all sources is less than 500 in urban areas and less than 5,000 in rural areas will be provided ₹100 per head per month. Shuchita scheme in Chhattisgarh state. Chhattisgarh government has launched Shuchita Yojana on 2017 with an aim to encourage hygiene between the girls. Under the scheme, automated sanitary napkin vending machines would install inside the girls' washroom in every government school. Target is the government school where the girls are basically dropping out due to the certain problems as identified. So specific keeping the target, this scheme introduced. The government would also install eco-friendly incinerators in every government schools for safe disposal used of the napkins. It is 100% state sponsored scheme. Now from the state of West Bengal, community healthcare management initiatives in West Bengal. The Panchayat and Rural Development Department, Government of West Bengal has launched the Community Healthcare Management Initiative, in short form CHCMI, on 2004 with substantial support from UNICEF and the Department of Health and Family Welfare with an aim to promote community involvement in health management through generating awareness and promoting capacity building exercise among the rural masses for smooth delivery of healthcare services. It is found in many states the healthcare services, though it is there, people are ignored, and due to their ignorance even they are not interested or utilizing the services. So keeping this in mind, Government of West Bengal introduced this program. The main motto of this program is to put communities' health in communities' hand. That means it is the people's program and people will manage it. Preventive, promotive and curative activities are three pillars of healthcare management system under this scheme. In another program of West Bengal is Shishu Shiksha Karmashuchi in West Bengal. The Panchayat and Rural Development Department, Government of West Bengal, has taken up the program of Shishu Shiksha Karmashuchi with an aim to achieve universalization of primary education. This program was launched to set up Shishu Suraksha Kendras, where at least 20 children don't have access to formal education. Under this program, funds are being provided by state government, where Panchayat act as facilitators only. It is a demand-driven program. In the year 1999, the program was redesigned as Paschim Bango Rajya Shishu Shiksha Mission. The managing committee of the Kendra has appointed by Shikkais for the functions of the Kendras. Actually, in West Bengal, there are a number of areas where formal education did not reach because of the distances or other remoteness of the villages. But if the number of children are 20 over there who are supposed to get the formal education, for them this scheme was introduced with a specific aims and objectives and keeping the name of Paschim Bango Rajya Shishu Shiksha Mission. So far, the different schemes have been discussed. Definitely all states is not possible to cover. But somehow we have covered from the south, we have covered from the northeast, we have covered from the western part, we have covered from the eastern parts also. Different schemes it has found that these are the programs, fund allocated by the state government. Sometimes it is a joint venture by the state and the private partnership, companies from the companies. Sometimes the program initiated by the states with the support of the another different ministries or the departments of the government of India. And these are the programs actually little bit tailor-made. And due to this tailor-made, the specific requirement or the specific target group have been able to get support by the state governments. Already you have seen the example, that is when there is a 20 or more number of children are there in a certain remote area, but still education, formal education did not reach over there. For specific programs, Government of West Bengal arranged under such schemes. Even Odisha government arranged for the provision of loans in a very low rate for the meritorious students who are having poor background but shows their merit into the educational sectors. So rural development, as it is very already in the different module we discussed, very dimensional in nature. So keeping the dimensions in mind, national, whether it is the state, both level programs still covering for them to provide benefits to the beneficiaries. The beneficiaries may be the old age, beneficiary may be a disabled person, beneficiaries may be the school children, beneficiaries may be certain communities, beneficiaries may be certain common people. So state to state the program varies. Sometimes it may be said that when there is a state level program and central level program, but still whether there is an overlapping or not, that is implementation part. That question definitely may come. When there is under the different two schemes going to implement in the same area, where there will be an overlapping or not, that is administrative issues. So these issues definitely taken care by the administrative level. For example, from the central funded, with the central scheme, 20 number of people are getting benefit for the housing, whereas another 5 number will be get benefit from the state sponsored scheme. So the 25 people instead of 20, 25 people will get benefit for housing schemes in a particular state. So this way, state to state, as per their requirement, they have prepared their programs, they have prepared their schemes, and they have tried to reach out to the people who are yet to get support, benefit and services from the different schemes. So keeping view in mind the integrated approach for the rural development, I believe the both central as well as the state, both different schemes may be in there, but it is required because rural population is very vast. So whether the national, whether the state, sometimes it may be seen that at the local level, Panchayat have also introduced certain programs out of their own resources. So it is required. Certain challenges are there when the two under the same objective two programs are being introduced, but still requirement is there, is in the belief. For further references, please follow the e-text, and there are certain website references are there, because these are the schemes time to time modified, reintroduced and changed. So hopefully that would be helpful for you. With this, thank you.